transfer.
They have like an 8 over 3 that goes to the power. That's so hard. I put
I just have like a, it's like a cover that you do. So all you like, no, I believe it's like a general
like hours. The same format as you win. But I was gonna like lift it up and I was
Hey, you want to go up there? I'll go with you. Wait, oh, hi, Brian. I don't know.
please welcome FIU Athletics led by Scott Yokozinski.
Thank you, Uber. Can everybody hear me? All right, we're going to start off with a video, and then we have a few guests of honor tonight. But first, we're going to start off with a little video, and then our cheerleaders and dazzlers are going to take the stage. All right, roll it. Some of those shots actually on campus right here, and a couple of those were in the Everglades to kind of tie into our proximity to the Everglades and our mascot being the Panthers, their presence in the Everglades. So that's kind of the story behind that video. We have a couple of guest speakers that we're going to have today. Before we introduce them, I just wanted to mention a couple of quick notes about our relationship from the athletics department with the FIU Honors College. We've had a relationship for a few years now where you guys have had a group night where you've come out to some of our football games. Last year we started expanding that to a men's basketball game, and I know we've been in talks with Uber about expanding that to all of our sports. It really has been a relationship over 4 or 5 years that has grown into what it is today, and we're very thankful that we get this opportunity to kind of kick off your Honors College convocation every year as well. So the key date to remember is October 20th. That is the Honors College night at the FIU football game this season. I know Uber will have some more details for all of you guys about that. But I know some of our guys are out passing around schedules for all of our fall sports teams. So just keep in mind we have a homecoming game coming up on October 13th. That's the week before that Honors College game. And then we'll announce the future Honors College games for the spring semester as we get closer to that time. And I wanted to share a real quick story too before we brought up some of our guest speakers about something I thought was really cool when we did the Honors College night at the FIU men's basketball game last year. You guys brought out a few hundred people to the game. It was really cool to see. We won that game, and I think it was in large part to having that extra boost of student spirit at that game. But there was one girl that Boomer introduced me to. She was in the Honors College. She was an online-only student up in Orlando, Florida. And she came down to that game as a part of the Honors College night. And that was her first time being on campus physically at all. And it was, she wasn't, necessarily a huge basketball fan or, knew everything about both the teams that were playing, but just the events with the Honors College students coming together, and her coming down there. She was sitting courtside for a little bit, and I talked to her after the game. I know she had an amazing time. And I thought that was just really cool. That's kind of what this partnership with athletics and you guys is all about, is building some memories and helping just boost that Panther pride and that connection with the Honors College and the university in general. So, all right, that's probably enough for me for now. I know you guys want to hear some of our guest speakers. Our first guest speaker we're going to have tonight is our FIU head men's soccer coach, Kevin Hyneman. Quick note about Kevin. This is his second year as the FIU head men's soccer coach. Last year, they had a fantastic season. They finished the regular season undefeated, and we hosted a home game in the NCAA tournament. And we had a fantastic capacity crowd that day. We won that game. We actually have a quick minute video that kind of shows some of the sights and scenes of that video. So if we're ready, we can play that real quick, and then that'll lead into our FIU head men's soccer coach, Kevin Hyneman.
How you doing? Everybody good? My name's Kevin Hyneman, as Scott said, and just want to first thank you guys for having all of athletics, and specifically myself, here to quickly speak about our sport and the challenge that we can now present. You guys, as elite students, are challenging yourself daily with your academic profile, right? Through all of your courses, and then added on with the honor college courses that specify in a couple things. I would imagine, just because we have 3 guys who have participated within the honors college, one currently here sitting with you, through leadership, policy, politics, right, innovation. So that's where you guys are challenging yourself daily from your academic side, as now the next generation leaders of not only FIU, but in a bigger spectrum, the world, right? The United States, and then bigger. So what my challenge now is for you guys is to come and support not only men's soccer, but all of athletics, right? And I know that you have the football on 1020, which is awesome, and it's massive. And now, can you continue to do such with other sports? So specifically men's soccer. We play next Wednesday, 10-3, next Sunday, 10-7, and then we actually play the night before, 10-19. Those are the 3 next home games for us, okay? We play here on campus, over behind the arena where the men's basketball team plays, and you'll hear from Coach shortly. But for us, it's a continued support, right? We as coaches understand the responsibility of our student athletes with the student first. And we understand what you guys are doing daily in raising the profile for this university and in continuing further on. And now, how can we continue to raise that, not only through academics, but athletics, right? And so your support is massive. And that goes throughout the entire campus, and our support of athletics for the individual student athletes in them getting their degrees. So I know firsthand from our guys how important the academic side is. As I said, we've had a couple guys and currently a couple in. So I continue to praise you guys for that. Continue to work hard, challenge yourself. That's some of the stuff that are core pillars for most coaches, and continuing to make yourself better every day. So thank you for having myself in athletics, and thank you, Scott, and all the professors and the directors here. And hopefully we'll see you guys out at one of our upcoming soccer games.
I'm really appreciative for Coach Nally coming out here today. They have a road game in New Mexico on Friday. I know they're very busy in the middle of their season right now. And I can't emphasize enough the high quality of college soccer that these guys are playing. Kentucky and South Carolina are coming into our soccer stadium later in the season. And I would encourage all of you guys to check out one of those games and see the quality of soccer that they're playing over there. All right, we're going to have one more of our head coaches come up and talk. We have our brand new, this is his first year at FIU, so when we bring him up, please give him a nice warm welcome. His name is Jeremy Ballard. He's our new head men's basketball coach here at FIU. And I know Coach Ballard from the off-season workouts I've seen with him. He's bringing a new energy to our men's basketball program. The energy is infectious when I've poked my head in the gym. And we're really happy to have him here at FIU and here today at your Honors College Convocation. Today is actually their very first day of official practice. So the road to the season really officially began today. The football video you guys saw at the beginning of our portion, we actually just filmed that portion for men's basketball last night. And their season starts on November 7th, so about 5-6 weeks away. But without further ado, here's our head men's basketball coach, Jeremy Ballard.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I feel truly privileged to be here. FIU is one of the best up-and-coming universities in the country, and you're the best that FIU has to offer. You're the brightest, you're the best, you're everything that makes us proud as a university. So please give yourself a hand. And I want you to understand, and please know this, what you all represent is what we're trying to do with our programs. So we're trying to have the same commitment, the same passion, the same energy that you all bring to school each and every day, that you all bring to this honors college. That's what we're trying to do with our program. And we're trying to be the best and the brightest, as you all have already attained here at the university. I've spoken with the powers that be. There should be a warm-up video in the works for the honors college as well, so that when you wake up and go to class in the morning, watch that and get hyped up like our football and basketball teams do. So be on the lookout for that. I'm just kidding. Hopefully not, though. But anyway, like Coach said, it is vitally important that we have the student engagement in our games. So Scott mentioned it. At the soccer playoff game, at the men's basketball game last year, at these football games, and all of the athletic sporting events that we have, when you all show up and bring the spirit, bring the energy, it really lifts our student athletes up. And make no mistake about it, each and every one of our players, they're students before they're athletes. So they're working hard in the classroom just like you all are, and they really appreciate your support, and we value it. So we ask that you come out on the Honors College night like you have in the past, but please feel free to come to as many sporting events as you can, and we'll make sure to support as much as we can of the Honors College and all of your endeavors. Thank you.
Once again, for you guys, I think last year we had the Honors College night at men's basketball in February sometime, so we'll be announcing that date pretty soon. But save the date for November 7th. That's the first FIU men's basketball home game of the season. That's a Wednesday, I believe, Wednesday, November 7th. We only have a couple more minutes left. We're gonna finish off with a nice little treat at the end. But we have some FIU football players here. I'm asking if they can come up onto the stage right now. They took the time out of their day. They have a game this Saturday to be here. We have about 5 or 6 minutes. But first, I wanted to mention a couple other things to remember, and then I kind of wanted to open it up. We might have some time for maybe like 3 or 4 just generic questions that you guys may have on behalf for the athletics department. But a few important things to remember. All of our games are free for all of you guys as students. You have your one card. All you have to do is bring that one card in, and you guys are into all of our games. If you guys have a guest, friends, family that don't go to school here, we have a special deal on guest tickets to all of our games. So, for example, for football games, if you have a guest, it's $10. You just have to contact our box office. It's on our website at FIUsports.com, and you guys can get that discounted rate as a student there. And then for employees that are in the house today, this Saturday's football game is FIU Employee Day, so all FIU employees can buy tickets for $1. So spread the word, tell your teachers in class, all that good stuff. That's this Saturday for the FIU football game. $1 tickets for all employees. All right, so does anyone have any questions at all? We have a couple minutes, then we're going to finish it off with a nice t-shirt toss. Right. Someone in the upper deck? Anyone? A question? Brenny, do you have a question? Front? Hello! Here we go! All right, speak up. I believe there is a kids discount, FIUsports.com on the website. There's a ticketing page that prices out everything. All the different sections, all the good stuff. That leads me to another point. There's a brand new student section in our football games this year. I don't know if some of you guys made it out there. Biscayne Bay, yes, we have a loyal fan right here. Yes. I know some of you guys as freshmen may have been to the first football game. We had a large group of freshmen out there. All right, any other questions? We have some football players here. We can't do the t-shirt toss quite yet because I promised we would be here until 3:30. It's 3:26. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll just have to really draw out the t-shirt toss. All right.
Toss it!
Homecoming! What a fantastic question. Oh, we have an upper deck quiz first. Let me talk about homecoming. October 13th, Middle Tennessee, Ricardo Silva Stadium. Is that guy stretching in the back? He's just stretching, okay. Question right here. Oh, now the questions are flying. We're going to have to pick you guys off here. Right here we go. The average GPA of the athletes. I do not know off the top of my head. I know President Rosenberg is in the building, everybody, and he gave me the answer of 3.2. I do know that set a record for FIU last school year. That was the highest we have ever had. So these guys are putting in work in the classroom and on the field. All right. There was someone in the upper deck that had a question. I didn't forget about you. You're going to have to yell, though. You're going to have to get loud when we fill the t-shirts. Really get loud and rambunctious. These guys have some strong arms, I think. And we have a former softball player in the building. She's got a strong arm. All right, on that note, I think that's the perfect segue. Guys, spread out. Don't throw them all right away. We're going to tease you.
Thank you, FIU Athletics.
Engaging.
Adventurous.
Exciting.
Community.
Inquisitive.
Opportunities.
Diverse.
Giving.
Excellence.
Knowledge.
Unique. Possibilities. Innovative.
Home.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Master of Ceremony and Assistant Dean of the Honors College, Dr. Arlene Garcia.
It is my pleasure to be the Master of Ceremony for this very special occasion where we celebrate you, the student. Today we have the privilege of recognizing some of our top students and welcoming our new students to the FIU Honors College family. So let's get this started. The 19th convocation of the Honors College is now officially declared open. And we're starting this convocation with our very own heartbeats, led by Gladys Levy under the faculty mentorship of Professor Janet McDaniel. Please stand and join them in singing the national anthem and remain standing for the FIU alma mater.
It's actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool show.
That was in our like invention. We keep saying it like 13 times. We're like, okay, that's fine. That's hard.
classes and staff and people involved, they really help to incubate a lot of innovation that happens with students and projects and people. And they really brought me a really great thing, bringing me to the lab, and it's helped me to help grow the lab and things like that. So the Edge Lab is a small makerspace. We're affiliated with the Honors College, and what we do is that we help to bring projects to life, whether they're from a napkin or even just an idea in someone's head. We want to bring them to real life, either in prototype form or maybe a final product and things like that. Well, we're here for obviously any kind of project, any kind of student, anyone who wants to make something, and that's what we're here for.
In the national anthem and our FIU alma mater. Now, it's up to the rest of you to learn the FIU alma mater and make that part of your university tradition. And now let me introduce you to the Dean of the Honors College. Dean Espinosa is a political scientist with degrees from the University of Miami and Florida State. His main research interests include the arts, political expression, culture, and collective identity. He has taught Honors College courses at every level. He serves on numerous university-wide committees, including Ashoka Changemaker, the University-wide Scholarship Committee, Cuban Research Institute, and more. Dean Espinosa was inducted into the Order of the Torch and Phi Beta Kappa. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce the Dean of the Honors College, Dr. Juan Carlos Espinosa.
Thank you, Arlene, for that lovely introduction. That picture is one of my favorite pictures. I use it everywhere. That was taken at the South Pole in January of 2007, and that's unfolded the old Honors College flag. So I had an FIU sweatshirt, which I really needed. I just wanted to show you what that is. Today is about you. This is your official welcome to the FIU Honors College. And you are the best and brightest. You are the best and the brightest. In fact, you are the best and brightest ever of all the Honors College freshman classes. And not just because of your GPA, your SAT, and your ACT scores, or because you are valedictorians or salutatorians or Silver Knight Award winners, or National Hispanic Scholars, or National Merit Scholars, ambassadors, presidentials, and I could go on and on. It's not just because you are nerds, geeks, freaks, and jocks. It is because you're honors. It is because you're FIU. Because you chose to come to FIU. And you chose to join the Honors College. Now, I want to make this more than a welcome. I want to make this sort of a preview as to where you will be in 4 years as the class of 2022. You'll be seeing me again, and you'll be hearing some of the same words when we do our Honors College graduation assembly. But I want to talk a little bit about how we get from here to there. You're in first year, and you're taking 2 different Honors College courses. You've got the seminar, right? And you've got the intro class. Now, the intro class is sort of a foundation for the Honors College. I always talk about the fact that life is not a major, although it is the foundation of what you will do throughout your undergraduate career and perhaps beyond. But the intro class is really the foundation of what you will do in honors. I always talk about the necessity of collecting your intellectual and vocational tools. And I'd like to think that we do that, especially in the intro class. So in that intro class, not only will you become a better writer, a better critical thinker, a better researcher, and as a matter of fact, some of the stuff that you do in your research projects, you'll do, if you were not in the Honors College, you'd do it much later. You learn how to identify problems, how to analyze them. You learn some research methods. You even learn about research ethics. In the spring, you learn how to work in groups and you create social innovation projects that we present at the end of the semester. You are already innovators. You're already leaders. You're already scholars. And you are in development. Now, I should mention that Social Innovation Day, which you're going to start hearing about from your professors in the next month or so. Well, last year, FIU had 11 teams compete for the HALT competition, and you all will hear about that. It's a social innovation competition that is international. And of the 11 teams that competed at the Honors College, at FIU, 9 were Honors College. And in the top 3, there was a freshman team, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. Because what they did in the first semester, what you are going to do in the first semester, learning how to do pitches about yourself, pitching your research, how to put together ideas, how to write, all of those things that you do in a group collaborative form. Because if I mentioned that life is not a major, well, life is a group project. Whether you like them or not, I never liked assigning them, and I never liked doing them, but you know what? Life is a group project. And attendance will be taken. You need to be present in life. And you need to start creating those kinds of habits right now as Honors College freshmen. In your seminar, the seminars are a little different. The seminars where interdisciplinarity happens. And for the Honors College, interdisciplinary is not just a long word. It is who we are. It is how we do things. Because we understand that everything is connected. And if we don't learn how to connect to us, we're going to have a lot of difficulty as time moves forward. You all heard of the Fourth Industrial Revolution? Yeah? Yes. I know you're hearing ad nauseum. I know in your classes. Well, between the first and the second revolution, it was about 120 years. Between the second and the third, there were maybe 100 or so. Between the third and the fourth, it's really about 40 years. And what do you think, how long do you think the fourth and fifth one will take? Okay. So what we want you to have, both coming out from the seminar and from the intro class, we want you to have those tools so that you can be agile, so you can adapt. Because no one here knows what your career, what your profession will look like in 20, 30, 40 years. So you have to have those tools. You have to have courage. You have to be smart risk takers. And those are things that your faculty try to model, and you need to start developing in yourself. Because if you're in honors, if you're at FIU, you will succeed because you will have those tools. Now the seminar, interdisciplinarity, you've got professors and teams of 3 and 4 who come from all over the place. A little later on, our keynote speaker, James Sutton, teaches in first year. He is from the English department. But you find, just like you are all from different majors, from just about every major here at FIU, and every college and school is represented, so are your faculty, so are your instructors. So they bring their disciplines. They don't teach their discipline. Remember, this is interdisciplinary, but they teach informed by their discipline. So you're getting some of the best and brightest faculty, too. And you have them working with you and modeling what it is like to make these connections. And how to be academics, how to have integrity and honesty and rigor in what you do. So that is some of the stuff that's happening in first year, at least in the classrooms. But outside the classroom, I was joking, it's not really quite a joke, that 50% of what I learned in college, I learned not in the classroom, but at Bullington's Tavern. No one knows what a tavern is anymore. That's okay, it's sort of like a place that, like Chili's, okay, or Chipotle, sort of. But I learned from my fellow students. I learned because at Florida State University, in the Russian department, we had created a community of, primarily nerds, not too many geeks, but we learned from each other. We had conversations, we shared books, we challenged each other, we played games. We hung out with graduate students. We met professors. The head of the Russian department was the head of the Mormon church for North Florida, Southeast Georgia, and Southern Alabama, and you wouldn't expect him at Bullington's Tavern, but there he was, helping us and moving the conversation forward. So you need to learn from each other. And don't think that there are people here that you cannot learn from. Staff, I learn a lot from the women who serve me my Bustelo several times a day. I learn a lot from my fellow deans. I learn a lot from instructors. I learn a lot from you. As a matter of fact, this is the first time in a long time that I don't teach. And I miss it, so actually you'll probably see me more often because I need to continue learning from you so I'm a better honors dean, so I'm a better person. So I just want to close, rather long close. The other day I was sitting down looking over some notes I had from a talk I gave some years back, and it was just actually a bunch of bullet points. And these are the things that I hope you will have learned at the end in 4 years as you are sitting in the front of the arena, dressing in your robes with your honors bling, and you'll know what that is later on when we get to it. And President Rosenberg recognizes the Honors College of the Center for Undergraduate Academic Excellence, and we are because you are. And I just want to make a few notes here. I hope that you'll learn to think for yourself, to think critically, not to be swayed by other people's rhetoric or celebrity. I want you to be able to analyze issues logically and thoughtfully, and for you to be able to engage in debate with respect for one another. I hope you'll learn how to learn. Learn is an action verb, to learn. So in other words, it doesn't happen to you. You make it happen. So if you're not an active learner, from now until the day you die, you'll lose a lot of what's important about being human. And your life will have more meaning, this is my own prejudice, if you do that. I hope you'll learn how to generate new ideas, to solve problems, form new ventures, and set the pace for the future. I made a reference to the next industrial revolution. Pay attention. I hope that you'll be articulate public speakers, that you'll be able to express your views, that you'll be able to defend what you say, believe, forcefully, logically, respectfully, and that you will be able to wield language as a tool. And that you will also recognize that language is powerful and a treasure. I hope you'll be able to learn how to work with others. I hope that you'll be able to understand that, life is a group project, and you have to learn how to work in teams. And by the way, there's no rubric in life. And I hope you'll be able to learn from people from other cultures. One of the great things about honors is our study abroad programs, but it's also our diversity. As you get to know your fellow students, as you get to know the upperclassmen, you'll see that great diversity, the richness that we have as human beings. And most of all, I hope that you will learn to be you, because to those of whom much is given, much is expected. Welcome to FIU, the Honors College. I'm going to turn it over to the president of the university, Mark B. Rosenberg. It is my honor to Mark B. Rosenberg has over 40 years of experience in higher education leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5th president of FIU, Dr. Mark B. Rosenberg.
Thank you, Dean. So is this our Honors College class of 2022? Yeah, we've been waiting for it. You, as you may have heard at freshman convocation, I want to thank the dean, I want to thank Arlene, I want to thank the faculty for your commitment to this class of 2022. I got to tell you that I'm very excited about the opportunities, the journey that you have ahead of you. I can't think of a better place to be learners than right here at our FIU. I know your faculty. They are excellent, and I know that you are going to have an unbelievable experience here. So what I want to do in the little bit of time that I've been given is to tell you, share with you a little bit about this incredible university. And I want to use the theme, and I'm going to illustrate it, about how you are now part of a place that turns the impossible into the inevitable. You're part of an institution, you're part of a community that has learned how to get things done, sometimes under extreme difficulty. And to assure you that in your own lives, that you can do this, that you
can do what you thought you might not be able to do. And that you can draw strength, and you can draw energy, and you can draw commitment and passion from the experience that we have already had. And that experience is one that I would really classify as an upward trajectory. An upward trajectory. And we have been on an upward trajectory because as a community, the faculty, the staff, board members, our students, we've always set high goals for ourselves. High goals. And so let me tell you about it. This university was opened in 1972. If you study public universities, you know that 1972 is relatively late. Some of the institutions that I know you considered going to and considered you and wanted you are institutions that are 100, 150 years older than our FIU. But we only got opened in 1972 in part because a lot of people didn't want a public university right here in our community. But while we were chartered in '65, it took 7 years to get this institution open. And then there was very little support, financial support for the institution. And in spite of that, maybe some of your parents or grandparents, they were in that first class, by the way, of 5,600 students. And then there's your building. You're in Deuxième Maison, right? Well, this is Deuxième Maison. When it was being built, yes, that was the campus in 1972. Look at it. Unbelievable how it's transformed. But your Deuxième Maison, let me tell you something. It almost didn't get built. You know why? Because the state legislature didn't give the university leadership of that period enough money. In fact, they were $200,000 short. $200,000 in 1972 is a lot of money. It'll buy a lot of Dunkin' Donuts in 1972. Okay, but the president then knew that we needed the building. And so he told the construction company, you build it, and even though we're short, we will find a way to turn the impossible into the inevitable and get this building open. You know what happened to President Perry as a consequence of that? He was censored by the governor. He was censored by the legislature. He was formally reprimanded by the chancellor. But he persisted. And so that building that you're in today might not have been built were it not for leadership that wanted to turn the impossible into the inevitable. And then you're all freshmen, right? Yes. Well, guess what? This university, they said, could never have freshmen. That only we could accept transfers from Miami-Dade College and Broward College, which is great. We love transfers. We thought it would be important to offer our community the opportunity to have a full 4-year education at one place. They said we couldn't have it. We turned the impossible inevitable, and we made it happen. And that lower division was a statewide fight. By the way, UCF, FAU, they found themselves in the same boat. Imagine 1972 being told you couldn't have a freshman class. It made no sense. At our first residence hall, they said we could not have students who lived on campus. And yet, the leadership said, no, we've got to have students who live on campus. They turned the impossible into the inevitable. And then they said, no graduate programs. Imagine, many of you are already thinking about graduate programs, a master's degree, a doctorate degree that you like, that you may want to take. But they said that couldn't happen at FIU. But in the mid-'80s, they turned the impossible and the inevitable here and made that happen. And then many of you, hopefully all of you, will be eligible for Phi Beta Kappa, which is the nation's leading scholarly honorary. And by the look of your records, I know that you all have a shot at that. It's by invitation only. And it's the nation's oldest scholarly honorary. Started at William and Mary in 1776. And they said, oh, we would never qualify for that. It's by invitation only. But they took a look at our faculty, and they said, you have a really good faculty. And by the year 2000, what they said couldn't happen, happened because our faculty turned the impossible and the inevitable, and we have Phi Beta Kappa. And at your graduation in 2022, we're going to ask those of you who've been inducted into Phi Beta Kappa to stand up. And it is the highest honor you can have as a student at any university in the country. And then they said, no, you're not going to get architecture. The U has architecture. The U. And our leadership, one of your faculty members, now faculty members, Dr. Medid, said, no, we got to have architecture. We got to turn the impossible inevitable. And now some of you, right, you're probably going to be architecture students. We turn the impossible into the inevitable. And then it really got tough, because a lot of our students wanted to go to law school, but they said we couldn't have a law school. And 3 times they turned us down. But the leadership then, in alliance with a number of state legislators, said, no, we're going to turn the impossible inevitable, and we have a law school today. And guess which university has come in first in Park Passage 5 years ago? That's the university that you're at. And then there we were in the Graham Center inaugurating the first class of that law school. The place was packed. Governor Bush was there. And he was welcoming that first class. And then he turned to Dr. Medid and others sitting there, and he said, I suppose now you're going to want a medical school. And we looked up at him and he said, yeah, we want a medical school. And we turned the impossible inevitable, and we've had now 5 graduating classes of medical school students, and many of you will be in the graduating class in 2024. We turn the impossible into the inevitable. We set high goals. We know that you will set high goals. And let me give you just 3 examples of individuals who have been at FIU, who have turned the impossible into the inevitable. The first is someone I'm really proud of, and his name is Richard M. Smith. Take a look at both of those pictures. That's the same Richard M. Smith. Richard M. Smith graduated from FIU 5 years ago with a PhD in history at 86 years old. You see, Richard M. Smith wanted to get a PhD, but his college education was interrupted with the start of World War II. And he enlisted. And he fought in World War II. He was an Army Air Corps bombardier over Europe. He dropped bombs, he dropped ammo, and he fought for our country. And then he came back and he went to school, but he never got his PhD until he decided that he would turn the impossible into the inevitable and get a PhD. And I want to tell you, class, that was a real work, because he had to drive from Deerfield Beach, starting when he was 78 years old, to get to his classes, to get his PhD in history. And here he stood on the stage, getting that PhD just a few years ago. And I want to invite you to go to YouTube, look up Richard M. Smith, and get a sense of his history. What would it be like to be a student and have a cup of coffee with one of the few surviving World War II veterans who's a student like you at FIU? He turned the impossible into that. Yeah, you can applaud, because you know what? We're not going to see many more World War II veterans. And that was, as an NBC reporter called them, the greatest generation. Because they went over there to fight, and they knew they weren't coming home unless the job was done. And then there was, just a couple of years ago, beyond Richard M. Smith, a young lady who came across the stage at graduation, getting her degree like all of you will get your degrees. She in architecture. And as she stood there getting the picture, he said to me, would you mind taking a picture with the man who's coming after me? And I said, no, happy to. And then she slid over to the other side, and he slid up. I said to her, I said, who is thinking that he was her boyfriend or brother? And she looks up at me and she goes, he's my dad, he's graduating too. Turning possibly ever. Imagine that. Graduating with a parent. By the way, they were in the same classes together. You know? And I'm really proud of this story. I think what happened was that Yanel convinced her father, listen, you want a degree, you can do this, you come back. And they turned the impossible into the inevitable. There he was, standing there, proudly with his daughter, and both were getting a degree. How many of you have parents or loved ones that have always talked about it? Maybe you talked them into coming back and getting their degree. And then finally, speaking of turning the impossible into the inevitable, it's actually a pretty sad story. We were hosting at the Reagan House a memorial ceremony for a dear friend who worked at FIU who had passed. And prior to the ceremony, I noticed a lady there at the Reagan House who I had never seen before. So I walked up to her and I introduced myself, and you're going to have the opportunity, like I had the unbelievable opportunity, but here you're going to have the opportunity, incredible people, take advantage of that. So I introduced myself and I asked her who she was. And she told me, the name didn't ring a bell. And then I said, well, what's your connection to FIU? And she almost started to cry. She said to me, that program saved our family. And that's a pretty strong statement. I didn't know what she was talking about. So I said, which program? She said, the summer treatment program of our Center for Children and Families, which is a center here that works with students and kids with attention deficit disorder. And I said, well, tell me about that. How did it save your family? She said her son, Christopher, had a behavioral disorder, and that behavioral disorder was ripping the family apart. They tried psychologists. They have tried psychiatrists. They have tried all kinds of meds. She said it was ripping her family apart until they heard about what they call and they brought him in, and Kayla and her husband both went, and our faculty and our students provided approaches, pill-based, non-medicine, but behavioral approaches that enabled Christopher to get control of himself and enabled his parents to understand what the triggers were of this dysfunctional behavior. And now they did not split up. Family's great. Christopher's doing fine. That program, our program, a program that many of our students work in, saved this family. They turned the impossible into the inevitable. That's what we're capable of. That's what you're capable of. That's the kind of place we are. And that's what we take great pride in. And you're a part of that. You're a part of that. But now we have a new goal. We have a new goal. We've set ourselves a goal that no public urban research university has ever achieved. Believe it or not. It's hard to believe, but it's true. No public urban research university has ever had a 60% four-year graduation rate. Now think about that. 60% of students graduate within 4 years. You might think that's easy. Hopefully you'll all make it look easy, but it's not so common because life's journey carries with it obstacles, impediments, other opportunities, diversions. But our goal for you and your peers who enter this university this year is for 60% to graduate in 4 years. And if we do that, we will make national headlines and we will once again turn the impossible into the inevitable. Can we do this? I know some of you may be in a program that may take but through your honors college, and through the advisors that you have, and through the professional staff, we are focused on one thing, and that is your success. But we can't do it alone. You got to help each other. There's got to be a lot of teamwork. There's got to be a lot of collaboration. You're gonna have difficulty in some subjects. Maybe there's someone around you who can help you. You're gonna encounter somebody who's having difficulty. Help them. Help them. And if you do, I promise you, we will hit that goal. But more importantly, we will send a message to the world that there isn't anything the students at FIU can't accomplish. Now, we know that, those of us who have worked here for a while, but we want to make sure the world understands that. So you're going to be a part of something very, very special. And I believe that the Honors College has to lead this process. You heard the dean say, the centerpiece of undergraduate academic excellence at FIU. That's who you are. That's your responsibility. That's your opportunity. To whom much is given, as the dean said, much is expected. Set the bar high on yourselves. Lift yourselves up with high goals. You're capable of this, I promise you. In the same way that we hit all those other achievements, you can turn the impossible into the inevitable. I'm here to help you. Our entire team is here to help you. We're very, very proud of the fact that you have chosen FIU. Now let's go out and turn the impossible into the inevitable. Welcome to our honors.
And now, please welcome Heartbeats for a rendition of Imagine Dragons, Whatever It Takes.
To prepare for this, tripping the road could be dangerous. Everybody second is vultures, negative, negatives. Everybody praying for the fallen man. Everybody hoping for the end times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, running like a race course, going like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be a slip, put up on your lip, better that you rip. Break me down and build me up, whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I'll do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. I'll do whatever it takes. Take me to the top, I'm ready for whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I'll do what it takes. First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm tired and tired of the way that things have been. Oh, the way that things have been. Oh. I'm the one I said I'm the master of my CEO. The master of my CEO. Hypocritical, egotistical, don't wanna be the parenthetical, apathetical, working on something that I'm proud of, out of the box, and a fancy to the world, and a vision we lost. I'm an apostle. catastrophe. I'm just a symbol to remind you that there's more to see. I'm just a product of the system, a catastrophe, and yet a masterpiece, and yet I'm half diseased. So when I am deceased, at least I go down to the grave and die happily. Leave the body and my soul to be a part of me. I'll do what it takes.
So arts is basically an organization and a group of clubs that come together to advocate for the arts. So there's so much happening in the art community within the Honors College. So for example, we have club meetings, we have arts events. So there's also movies that we see, like Hearts Goes to Movies, where we just engage with each other and just as a community come together to appreciate art. My freshman year I took advantage of the discounts that Honors gave me. So there's discounts for the orchestra, there's discounts for movies, and it's absolutely amazing. You should really take advantage of that. So Hearts has really changed my perspective about life, about school, about myself. My advice is to get involved. Get involved with Hearts, get involved with Honors.
Our keynote speaker, Dr. James Sutton. For 8 years, he is an associate professor and a fellow of the Honors College. Dr. Sutton has been the recipient of an Excellence in Teaching Award and an Excellence in Advising Award at FIU. Please welcome our keynote speaker, top Shakespeare expert, honors fellow, and faculty director of our new UK Study Abroad program, Dr. James Sutton.
Good afternoon. I'm afraid I'm the speaker here who I will just have to rely on my voice. I have nothing behind me, so that. Don't look at that. At least I'm not going to be looking at that. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Garcia, for those kind words of welcome. I'm very much delighted and honored to be here, along with President Rosenberg and Dean Espinoza, and to speak to all of you, our incredible first-year students who we are formally inducting into the college this afternoon. And hopefully you'll find something worthwhile to take away with you. It's a very simple idea I want to present to you this afternoon. In his 1910 novel, Howard's End, English writer E.M. Forster explores a pressing question of his time and one that continues to be a problem today. In a rapidly changing modern society, he wonders, how can the inner and the outer life, the worlds of intellect and of business, relate to one another? The simple two-word epigraph that introduces his novel hints at the complex solution that he proposes in the pages that follow. Only connect. I'd like to borrow that epigraph this afternoon, only connect, and employ it as my central theme today. However, more than just a theme, perhaps a piece of advice, even an imperative command to all of you as you embark on your first of 4 years at FIU in our honors college. Now, many of you are currently reading Bill Burnett and Dale Evans' Designing Your Life. Probably all of you. I'd suggest to you that much of the wisdom they offer in this book revolves around forging meaningful connections. Isn't it true that in order to be whole rather than empty in their 4 designated life areas, those being health, work, play, and love, some form of human connection needs to be formed, especially in love, as they themselves admit. They write, love comes to us in a wide range of types, and from a huge array of sources, from parents to friends to colleagues to lovers, but they all share that people thing, that sense of connection. Burnett and Evans' their project of life design begins and ends with the forging of ties that bind. Step 1, or their first of 5 mindsets, is curiosity. Isn't curiosity all about opening yourself up to new people, to new ideas, to new ways of thinking, and trying to connect with them meaningfully? Their 5th and final mindset of design thinking, you may not have gotten there yet, so spoiler alert, they term radical collaboration. And when they discuss that, they make clear the importance of connecting. Here they assert that you are not alone. The best designers know that great design takes a team. Design is a collaborative process, and the best ideas come from other people. And at the end of their book, they reassert, designers believe that true genius is a collaborative process. We design our lives in connection with others, because we is always stronger than I. It's as simple as that. Only connect. I'd suggest to you that this same formula also undergirds the concept of the polymath. In a recent polemic arguing for the ascendancy of the polymath over the specialist, Michael Simmons has claimed that many of the most impactful individuals, both contemporary and historical, have been generalists. Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Ben Franklin, Thomas Edison, Da Vinci, Marie Curie. The history of science and mathematics and philosophy, Simmons posits, is riddled with polymaths, and so too is contemporary business. So what exactly is a polymath? Countering Malcolm Gladwell's notion of an outlier, a well-practiced and polished specialist in just one thing, someone who's taken 10,000 hours to master something. The polymath, according to Simmons, builds atypical combinations of skills and knowledge across fields, and then integrates them to create breakthrough ideas and even brand new fields. Thus, the polymath, for Simmons at least, is an individual skilled at integrating things that appear unrelated, someone who is competent in at least 3 diverse domains and manages to cleverly and freshly combine them into an extraordinary skill set. I claim then that the polymath is but an extraordinary connector, someone who is able to bridge people and ideas together. Okay. Fine, you may be saying, Professor Sun. I take your point that forging connections here might help me to design my life, even become a polymath. But I'm a first-year student here in the Honors College. I'm majoring in biology, and I plan to go to med school, either Johns Hopkins or FIU. And I don't quite see how I'm going to have the time, or frankly, the interest in this agenda of connecting that you're talking about. And after all, the message I constantly receive everywhere at FIU is stay focused, stay on track, graduate in 4 years, that's important. Don't want to contradict President Rosenberg. Be single-minded. Don't become distracted. My response to all of that, except the 4-year bit, that's important, is chill out. Give it a break. I'm here to advise you this afternoon, push back, even just a bit, on this notion of disciplinary focus. Explore, reach out, connect, integrate. Your very success here and beyond FIU depends upon that kind of effort. In a recent graduation address at Grinnell College in Iowa, the noted historian, geographer, and environmentalist, a polymath, William Cronin, explained 10 qualities that he most admires in people who seem to embody the values of a liberal arts education. His 10th and final quality? Such people, he writes, follow E.M. Forster's injunction in Howard's End, only connect. And Cronin continues, more than anything else, being an educated person means being able to find and to see connections that allow one to make sense of the world and act within it in creative ways. Every one of the 9 qualities I have just described, he writes, and those are listening, reading, talking, writing, puzzle solving, truth-seeking, seeing through other people's eyes, leading, and working in a community. All of those qualities are embodied, he says, finally, in connecting. A liberal education is about gaining the power and the wisdom, the generosity and the freedom to connect. So where's the place at FIU that's most designed like a liberal arts college? Dedicated to forging connections, fostering polymathic thinking, and designing your life. You're sitting in it. It's the Honors College. And I'm here this afternoon to encourage you to take full advantage of the opportunity that you've been granted through your admission into this college by embracing and embodying Forster's imperative of only connecting. But again, how, you might ask? Just how am I supposed to do this? I'm so busy already, I just don't have time for this work. Now I know I'm supposed to go to football games and soccer matches and attend as many hearts events as I can and take my 5 subjects and do well in school and work. How and where and when and with whom should I connect? Well, let me give you 5 ways that you could do this. And they're all within the context, within the space, the design, the curriculum, the intentionality of your honors college. First, take full advantage of the curriculum of this college. I'm sure many of you out there are still trying to figure out 5 or 6 weeks on what exactly is IDH 1001, and how do these crazy ideas and crazy professors presenting these ideas connect? They make no sense. I heard this last year from my students. I expect to hear it again, but we're going to keep at it. The connections intentionally are meant to be crazy. It's your job and our job as your professors to engage in a sort of polymathic thinking. To bring, and I will give you the example of my pod, which I teach with a physics professor, a religious studies professor, and a lawyer, to bring Plato's Cave, Harari's Sapiens, ancient myth and Greek tragedy, the Middle English poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, Marlowe's Dr. Faustus, Bacon's claims about the scientific method, Enlightenment thought, ideas of human rights and justice, and questions of mortality and immortality, to bring all of those things together in a grand, if confusing, conversation with one another. The work you're doing now in IDH 1001 is about connecting. And that's what it will be about next semester, and in your sophomore year, in your junior year, and when you go with me to England or wherever you might choose to go on study abroad. And Dean Espinoza wants to open up more study abroad programs, so let's make sure that happens. All join in. We'll have to open 10 more. Where do you want to go? Let them know. All right? We've got a lot of Europe, but not much Asia yet. Or, how about one to Russia? Or to Slovenia and Croatia. Right? So, where do you want to go? Let them know. So there's a way you can connect. Or if you do an internship or engage in a research project during your final year, the entire curriculum of this college is designed to get you outside of the box, or even more, to demolish the idea that a box even exists. Secondly, find 1 or 2 college-sponsored clubs that have nothing to do with your major. This won't keep you from graduating in 4 years, but it will make you connect. Throw yourself into them wholeheartedly. And whatever you do, don't play it safe. Take a risk. If you're a STEM major, join an artsy club. Become part of that fabulous singing group that we've heard twice now. Janet, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on Janet. Dr. McDaniel, remind me of the name of your group. Heartbeats, thank you. You guys are fabulous. If you're a STEM major, join Heartbeats or the poetry group. That's great, so keep doing it. And if you're an English major, one of my people, don't join the poetry club. Go find a stargazing club or a group committed to medicine or the environment. Those are the fields that need you, where you can offer something. If you're a business or finance or marketing student, use this college to push beyond the limits of what a spreadsheet or a market report cannot possibly describe. Third, explore and engage with the diversity of this college and this campus community. Take the opportunity in your sections and outside of your classes to connect with someone who differs from you in terms of their gender, their sexuality, their race, class, their linguistic background, their culture or country of origin, their religious practice. Approach them with respect and generosity and humility. Listen to their stories. Engage with them honestly. Connect with them. And in so doing, make a lifelong friend, or 2, or 3, or 20. Fourth, cultivate civility and honesty in your discourse and in your politics. Instead of shouting down your opposition or attempting to belittle or attack them, listen to them and engage with their ideas. Do better than my own generation has done, your current leaders. And on November 6th, for the first time for most of you, go and vote. Make your voices heard. Finally, engage with your Miami community, with Sweetwater or North Miami or Liberty City or Homestead or Hialeah. Use the resources, the energy, and commitment of both the Honors College and our Office of Engagement to enable this work, to forge meaningful alliances, to engage in service to our vibrant and very needy South Florida community. Now let me close, as I opened, going to my own happy place, the storehouse of English literature. Not Shakespeare, but close. In 1624, John Donne penned these lines, and they perfectly encapsulate my message to you this afternoon. I've switched them around a little bit to fit the context. No student is an island entire of herself. Every person is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, America is the less. And any person's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind. Get involved. Only connect. Be your best possible honors self. And remember, I'll say it for the 3rd time, to whom much is given, much is expected. Thank you.
We're on a huge university campus and everybody always has activities and events going on. I'm sure there's a million organizations that have different things every single day, but the good thing about honors is that they cater everything for us and to give us the full experience of a university within our small college. So an honors hour is pretty much a kind of workshop or a seminar where you sit in and listen to, sometimes they bring in professionals, sometimes we have people from the honors college talking about different things such as study abroad or research. It's a really good way of being able to learn about the different things going on, whether it's in the community, on campus. I think engagement is very important for an honors college student, or a student in general, because it builds your character, it makes you a better human being, and being able to say that you were engaged while you were in undergrad is so crucial as you develop yourself professionally. It helps you grow, and it sets you better off for life.
And it's actually the best segue to our next portion of the program, where we highlight and recognize some of our highest achieving active students in the Honors College. We are going to recognize students in engagement and service based on the points that they received last year. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This year's 2018-2019 Top 10 Dean's Engagement recipients are going to join me up on stage in just a second. I'm going to ask Dean Espinosa to join me so that we can give the awards. Dean? And our first award is to Chelsea Billingsley. Chelsea? Chelsea had a total of 48 engagement points last year. That is double the requirement, or a little more than double. Next we have Ashwak Yunus with 49 points, ranking 9. Brian O'Farrell, 52 points. Brian, congratulations. And as you can see, they're going to get another t-shirt to add to their collection as well. Daniela Stalogoskis, she's got 60 points from last year. Congratulations, Daniela. Alexander Cuneo with 65 points. Kelly Fuerte with 75. Congratulations. Eduardo Perez with 81 points. Congratulations, Eduardo. Alberto Garcia Marrero with 88 engagement points. Milagros Yanes with 75 points. Milagros. And last but not least, this student is our top Dean's Engagement Awardee for the 2017-2018 academic year. She attended 21 honors hours, 4 colloquia, 5 hearts events, 2 leadership lectures, and a sponsored event. Congratulations, Kayla Jolly. Kayla was busy last year.
How many points?
Oh, thank you. 107 whopping points. It is the mission of the Honors College to educate our students in the classroom as well as empower them to provide service to the communities, locally, nationally, and internationally. Our Dean's Service Award recognizes students who completed the most service hours for the 2017-2018 academic year. Here are our recipients. Anitza Quintero, who volunteered with Nicholas Children's Hospital last year. Gladys Levy, who volunteered at Clivenair K-8 Center. Congratulations. Lourdes Alarcón Torres, who volunteered with the Consulate General of Spain and the IBHQ in Bali, Indonesia. Zulueta volunteered at South Miami Hospital. Congratulations, Lauren. Andres Arnavat volunteered with Remote Area Medical Mission Trip and the Department of Health Promotion and Disease Prevention under Patria Rojas. Mahanor Abbas volunteered with Caserta and Spiriti Law Firm. Christina Franco volunteered with Heartbeat of Miami Baby Blankets for Newborns and St. Bosco Church. Emily Morales volunteered at Ca Nueva Iglesia Cristiana del Dorado. Alyssa Diaz volunteered at G. Holmes Braddock Senior High School. Ivy Learn volunteered with Baptist Hospital. Congratulations. Thank you. And finally, please welcome Jaylene Esper, who earned 2,548 hours, an honors college record at Soldiers of Mercy Youth Ministries. To all of our recipients. So now you see that this is something you can strive for. Let's see how well you do now for you guys next year.
So the arts program at the Honors College gave me the opportunity to not only look and explore and research, but also apply what I've wanted to know and also learn the skills necessary to conduct research in my field and be able to present the research besides not only the department but also to other faculty members of the university. The arts program also has the connection with the FIU conference, and I was able to go ahead and explain my research to most of the faculty and other departments of the university. And it gave me the confidence to go ahead and take the skills that I learned here and present my research through my master's program outside at higher level conferences. So I attribute the arts program to giving me the skills necessary to understand what research is about and also to have the confidence in doing research and collaborate with others as well to make sure that as a student I become more well-rounded. So I attribute to that.
Quick question. How many of you intend to conduct research? Remember, research is not for STEM people anymore, okay? I mean, if you're in first year in intro, you're going to do real meaningful research. But the next recognition is an award called the Arch Research Award. Arch is Advanced Research and Creativity and Honors. It is the Honors College Special Research Program that you should look into. Check out our website. It allows you to do mentored research with an FIU faculty member. Now, I'd like to present the Arch Research Award to an outstanding student leader, innovator in research. This year's recipient is Honors College Senior majoring in Psychology, Isabella Herrera.
Woo!
Isabella worked through Arch on a project called The Influence of Parental Behavior on Children with Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder and Anxiety Disorder, and she did that research right here at FIU, and she intends to get a master's and PhD in public health and clinical psychology. So she's gotten a really great start into her career by conducting undergraduate research right here at FIU. Now, I'm very proud now to present the 2017-2018 Dean's Excellence Award to an outstanding student, Cecia Ardennes, who is a computer science major. Let's meet her now.
I graduated from Neuro School of the Arts. There I studied vocal performance for 4 years. After that, I was kind of, considering other colleges and considering FIU. I read up about the FIU Honors College and I saw how prestigious it was. The Honors College kind of takes all majors together and lets you explore so many different classes. So I am also the director for Mango Hacks here at the school, which is a 600 people hackathon where we receive people from all over the nation. Apart from that, I am also involved with the Association of Computing Machinery, in which most of the students that have graduated from there have pursued careers in top 5 tech companies. And I'm also really involved with women in computer science and focusing on bringing young girls into the program later on. Being a first-generation DACA student has, kind of impacted me in a way that I felt like I wasn't really, available for opportunities in a sense. So when I landed my first internship, it was kind of like an eye-opener, like, you're first generation, but you can do this. And this past summer, I interned at Visa in Palo Alto, California. There, I was able to kind of, hold a team together for Visa's hackathon, apart from doing my own personal internship project. And with the hackathon, we actually got our idea to win the executive challenge worldwide. And we also submitted a patent for it. I'm definitely really excited to finish off my senior year here at FIU. It has really helped me and impacted my journey throughout undergraduate school. And I'm just super thankful that I was chosen for this award, and I hope to, make you all proud at the Ardennes College.
One of the many amazing students here at the Honors College. Amazing like the rest of you are. As you heard, she started as a voice person. She studied at New World School of the Arts, and most of you who are in Miami-Dade County know where that is, and she was actually my niece's best friend, so I knew her before. But she does computer science, and she has been able to become a strong advocate for women in science, especially women in engineering and women in computer science. Now, she's currently traveling. She's presenting at a conference. So she could not be here to accept the award in person. So she sent a brief video that I would like for you to listen to.
Thank you, Dean Espinosa, for honoring me with this award. I am really sorry I can't be there right now, but I am accepting this award with a full heart. Thank you.
Cecia is testimony of that anything is possible, no matter where you come from, no matter what your legal status is in the United States, whether you're a male or a female. She's in a male-dominated field, and she's a leader. So I hope you'll get a chance to meet her. She is going to be graduating in 4 years. One of the Honors College engineering majors do very well compared to non-honors engineering. I'll just put that plug in. But now we come to the high point, coming to the end of our afternoon, and that's the pinning ceremony, where all new honor students put on their college pin for the first time. Now, this pin signifies your membership in a unique and select community of scholars, the Center of Academic Excellence at FIU. When you wear it, you represent the values for which the college stands and the goals for which we strive. I want you to wear your Honors College pin with pride and integrity. And now repeat, stand up. Please stand up. Take out your pin. Are you all up and y'all have your pins ready? All right. Now repeat after after me as you put your pins onto the left side of your t-shirt or whatever you're wearing. And you will now say, I am honors. You may now put on your pins. You're now part of a community that goes back decades of people. Welcome to Dr. Garcia, are you going to just give us the, please take a seat. Now that you're in, we're almost ready to go home for the midterm. Dr. Garcia, I believe you have the floor.
Honors College basically allotted me everything. My sophomore year, I transferred into honors, and Isabel Green was the person who basically said, like, hey, here, you can do this, you can they created a digital media position for me, and I got an internship with the Honors College. I learned so much, I gained so much experience. Eventually, from that internship, I was able to get other opportunities elsewhere. I was able to intern at External Relations. I was able to get a really cool opportunity in DC, Washington, DC. I am currently a traffic anchor for iHeartMedia. So I report the traffic in English and Spanish for all of Miami's iHeart radio stations. I thank the Honors College for that because they kind of planted the seed and made it happen for me. Without the Honors College, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. Our faculty, our community partners, and contributors. The 19th convocation of the Honors College has now ended.